Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday to you all. Welcome to Friday Night Live, the show where every week I get on someone interesting to chat to, an interview chosen by all of you, and where I usually ask them questions. This week, unfortunately, I don't have someone for you. So it's just me tonight because the person I had is unfortunately not feeling well. So we are delaying that person until next Friday, unfortunately. It was a very last minute call, so I do apologise. But instead, I thought tonight we'll still go live and we'll just have a catch up because it's Friday night and we've all had a good week or a busy week. Maybe you've had a bad week, but I want to hear all about it. We'll have a catch up and a chat just to see how life is going now that we're nearly out of lockdown. All right, it's starting to get exciting and interesting because obviously to a certain extent we can go out and meet people outdoors, different family households, which is quite an exciting thing that wasn't a thing a few weeks ago. So it'll be good to see how you're all getting on. Phoebe, good to see you. Malcolm, Martin, good evening, my friend. Martin, have you seen any more magic shows recently online? It'll be good to hear if there's any great ones that we should be aware of. I am watching Justin Willmans on Sunday. I'm looking forward to that. Maria, good to see you. Sandra, it is your birthday today, Sandra. So you have got... Oh, let's turn it up. Hold on, let's start that again. It's way too quiet. This is for you, Sandra. Happy birthday. Sandra, I hope you've had a good day, no matter what you're doing and who you're spending it with. Hopefully Logan's there keeping you company. You know what? Screw the Facebook fair use system. Let's put this one on. It's far more exciting and lively. I'm sure we're going to get ripped off of the Facebook air because I don't have rights to the Stevie Wonder version of that. But that is for you, Sandra. Thank you for choosing to join us on your birthday. It's always appreciated. I think there's quite a few birthdays coming up. Alex, good to see you, my friend. Let's put this back on. That is way too loud. Sorry about that. Lana, good to see you. And Archie says, what's your favourite magic trick? That is a good question, and that is one I'm not allowed to answer because my favourite magic trick is in my live tour show. And if anyone finds out what that trick is before they get to the show, it'll kind of ruin the surprise part of the finale to the show. So all I can tell you is if you want to know what my favourite trick is, you've got to come see my live tour show, which are now back on sale in October. So if you go on my website, richardjonesmagic.com, you will find lots and lots of different tour dates that I'm doing in October. So hopefully you guys can join me there. Hey Hazel, I know you've got a birthday coming up, I think next week, someone's birthday, I'm sure you said. Sandra has replied, so she heard the birthday wishes, so that is fantastic news. I did actually send you a message, a video message as well, Sandra. I'm not sure if you got it yet, but I sent you a little video message to say happy birthday this morning. Lucy, good to see you. Everyone's wishing you a happy birthday there, Sandra, which is great news. So obviously the big thing that's been in the news this week has been obviously Prince Philip passing away, which is obviously very sad news for the nation. I'm not involved, unfortunately, tomorrow on the army front, but I will be watching. I'll be tuning in. I believe that starts at about 1:15, I believe, tomorrow on the BBC. So I'll be tuning in to watch that. And yeah, I'm sure you all will be as well. But yeah, I'm not involved, unfortunately. I would have loved to have been involved in, obviously, such an important occasion. But the Army and the Navy and the Air Force, whatever they've got planned, it will be very, very impressive. So it's definitely worth tuning in tomorrow to see how it goes. I don't believe it's a full state funeral because I don't think that's what he wanted. So it will be slightly cut down from what we would probably usually expect, but it's going to be impressive, no doubt anyway. Jonathan, good to see you. Another magician joining us. Jade, how's it going? Lucy says, did you manage to find a venue in Worcestershire, West Midlands? Unfortunately, the only dates we've got at this moment in time are the ones on the website. The only one that we're still potentially adding for October potentially could be a show in Dorset, Lyme Regis, but the venue, we haven't managed to get in touch with the venue yet, so we're a little bit behind on that. So that may be coming. So if you live in Lyme Regis, keep an eye out because we might be adding that. We will be doing obviously a tour next year in 2022, but it'll be a completely different show. I'll be putting a completely brand new show. So if you want to see the Escape Tour, the last chance you got is this October. So come and join me there, and then join me again in 2022 for a different show. That'd be great. Tim says both platforms are working. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. I was trying to secretly just check that as we were going on here, but I haven't managed to do that yet. It's awesome. So I do have a big name on next week to join us for Friday Night Live. Those of you who have just tuned in, I do apologise. That person is not joining us this week because they are feeling a little bit unwell, and it was a last-minute call, so we've delayed that till next week. So I do apologise about that. But the good news is I have been putting together some brand new YouTube content, some little fun videos that I've been making over the last few weeks. So that is all going to be going live on YouTube over the next, few days and a few weeks. So if you aren't subscribed to me on YouTube already, it would mean the world to me if you did subscribe. I did put the link in tonight's description above this video, just in case you wanted to help me out and subscribe and check out some of my content. There are some good magic videos. Well, I like to think some fun magic videos on there that you might want to check out if you're into magic. And also some random lockdown challenges that I've been doing. I learned how to juggle, obviously, during lockdown, which most of you saw. Solve a Rubik's Cube, all that kind of stuff. Still got some more challenges still to go. Let me know what you think I should try next in my challenges, because I have run out of ideas, but I am hoping to do more over the next few weeks. So keep them coming. Martin says, Justin Willman's show is great. No shows this week, just pro lectures. Saw Mark Evans last night, amazing, and Mark Shortland. Mark Shortland is a very funny magician. I've seen him perform many times in the past. Great guy as well. Samantha says, do you tour every year? Yes, apart from COVID-19 years. Every year we do a tour with a different show every year. Although obviously the escape tour that we're doing this year was supposed to be in 2020, but obviously that one got delayed. Hazel says, yes, it's Oliver's 11th birthday on the 7th of May. I must remember. And you have emailed that email address. I don't think my team's managed to get back to all the emails today. Suddenly, it's like the floodgates have opened to live events. In the last week and a half, all of a sudden, up until a week and a half ago, hardly any live events requests had been coming in at all. But then a week and a half ago, all of a sudden, we've had loads. So we're a little bit behind on replying to them at the minute. But that's a great sign. It's a great sign for live entertainment. It looks like it's all coming back, and it's looking very, very positive, which is good. Although don't panic, I will be keeping up the online shows as well and the Facebook lives, because I really enjoy this now. This is here to stay. So I'll carry on doing those and also live events. But yes, so Hazel, someone will be back to you, but they might not get back to you until maybe Monday morning. So I do apologise for the delay in that, but I'm sure we can make something work, hopefully. Had an awesome day in Keswick, in the Lake District with Logan, says Sandra. Wow, that sounds nice. That sounds awesome. Huge respect to Prince Willip from Tim, absolutely. Danny, good evening, Danny Moore. Lovely to see you. We've got Tom Magic again. Good to see you, my friend. Hamza from Indonesia. Hello to everyone in Indonesia. Very cool. All right. So, yeah, what news do I have for you? I'm not involved tomorrow, but I'm looking forward to watching the coverage that the BBC will do. I'm sure they'll do a great job. And see my guys. You will see the Household Cavalry guys involved in the funeral procession at some point. I'm not entirely sure how their involvement is going to work, but they will definitely be involved because of their links to the royal family. But yeah, unfortunately, I won't be involved. Hazel says, new mic. No, it's the same mic, but there is something different. I bought this really awesome mic stand, so I can... Basically, in my Zoom show, usually this is above me, so it's out of shot in my Zoom show. But when I do this, because I'm not doing any tricks on these lives, it's easier for me to put it there because then it makes the sound quality slightly better. But interestingly, when I do my Zoom show, I have 3 cameras. So when you see me doing close-up magic with like cards or anything from above, bird's eye view of my hands doing magic, that is a table that is to my left. So when I do that, I face a different direction towards a different camera. So what I have to do is when I turn around to change that camera angle and to do that different trick, I take the mic with me like this. So then it's makes sure that it's over there and it's still picking me up no matter where I go. And also if I stand up, it'll go up there. So actually it's pretty good. You know what? It's actually really expensive. I bought a load of cheap ones in the past thinking, I bet they're all the same. Cheap ones for about 10 quid. But then I bought this the other day. It's a Rode one and it was very expensive. It was like 80 quid on Amazon. But actually It's pretty awesome. The cheaper ones do not hold the microphone's weight at all. I've had a few nightmares where mid-shows, all of a sudden, the microphone, which is above shot and out of shot, has a couple of times in the past just suddenly swung into shot and nearly hit me on the head, which isn't ideal for a mid-show collision problem. Right, okay. So who else we got here? Malcolm. Good to see you, Malcolm. Are you doing a show up here in Scotland? You know what, Malcolm? I'm so sorry. I am missing out Scotland in October. I did have a show booked up in Scotland, but unfortunately that theatre, we haven't managed to reschedule the show up there. So, but I promise you guys up in Scotland, I'm not avoiding you, and I will be back in 2022. I absolutely promise. I do apologise about that. New show in 22 sounds good. Maybe book for Escape again this year, though. Fantastic. Martin, I always forget whereabouts you are in the country, so I'm not entirely sure how close I'm coming to you guys, but yeah, it'll always be a pleasure to have you there. And also appreciate your latest review as well on my latest show. I appreciate it. You always have really kind things to say, which means a lot. Archie says, I'll see you on your Escape tour in February 2022. Fantastic, Archie. Yeah, that is something that I've probably confused a lot of you with. There are a couple of dates in February next year for the Escape tour, but that was just because we couldn't get them booked in October. So it's a little bit of a, yeah. I think it's three shows, I think, in February. The rest are in October. I read 5 books and you're on your 6th book, says Phoebe. Wow, that's a great achievement. I am currently dabbling in lots of books. I have a problem that I've got so many books that I want to read that I read a little bit of one and the next day I start reading a different one. And so at the minute I've got about 5 books that I'm reading at the minute, and I'm kind of quarter of the way through all of them, which is a bit of a nightmare. I should commit to one, really. Tim gave me a great book recently, which I've forgotten again to bring onto shot, but I will bring that onto shot at some point. It's very good. It's all about motivation and setting goals and achieving stuff, which, yeah, is very good so far. I'll more likely go to your show in Bristol, says Tim. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. It's a great venue, actually. I can't think what it's called off the top of my head, the Bristol date this year. But I do remember looking it up, and it looks great. I've not been there before. Jonathan's coming to see me in Kettering, awesome, in 2022. That'll be February. Looking forward to that. Pete, good to see you, mate. A fellow magician again. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Interestingly, when I came live, I think it was yesterday, I saw a funny message from Pete. Not a funny message, a terrible message from Pete. And I suddenly panicked. I thought I'd upset people with something that I said, and I was panicking a little bit. But it turned out someone else had put a comment. I can't remember who it was, but someone, unfortunately, had a very bad week. Someone on here who joined me a few days ago, their son got mugged in the last few days. It's like, what a terrible thing to happen just when we start getting out and about after lockdown. Stuff like that happens. Terrible. Alexander from Germany, thank you for joining us again. Good to see you. Wasn't Prince Harry part of the household cavalry, says Tim? He absolutely was, and still, well, actually, no, he's not still. That has changed, hasn't it? I assume he's still, well, he's now a veteran, I assume, because, you know what? I might have opened a can of worms there, because I'm not entirely sure. I assume now that he's no longer in the UK, I assume because of his cut royal ties, I believe he's probably cut ties with the army. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that. If you're a reporter, do not write a piece on me not knowing the answer to that. But yes, he was in the household cavalry for many, many years. So when you see Prince Harry in uniform over the last few years, he wears the uniform of the household cavalry, because that's he is very involved there. And very well respected, of course. And yeah, I did meet him many times. I was very lucky. I did a lot of shows for the Invictus Games when the winners' ceremony, when they came back from the last one, I think was Canada. Did some shows for them there and did some tricks for Harry, which was good fun. I did do a trick which he found quite funny. Those of you who have seen my show probably have seen me in the past Basically, I do cutouts of people's faces, celebrity faces, with paper and scissors. Most of you have probably seen me do that if you've seen my live shows. And I remember being sat at the Invictus Games on the same table as Prince Harry, and he asked me to show him something cool. So I said, I do these silhouette cutouts of famous people. I'll try and do one of you. And I cut out this picture, and I opened it up. And when I opened it up, I'd cut out Ed Sheeran. which I found quite funny, and the table found quite funny. So I was alluding to the fact that I didn't realise who he was, and I thought he was Ed Sheeran, because they do kind of look alike. So yeah, he found that very funny. I do have a photograph somewhere of me, him, and this cutout of Ed Sheeran, which was quite a funny moment. Tim says Rode, they are great accessories. They really are. They're great quality, the Rode stuff. I use Rode microphones as well for when I'm doing filming out and about with my camera. Oh, rugby based. Now, am I doing any shows near rugby? I would have to look up on a map to figure out exactly where rugby is, I think. Sorry, Martin. I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure that's Midlands. Rugby. I might be wrong. In fact, I probably am wrong. But yeah, I think I am going to be around the Midlands at some point. Oliver has broken his toe and torn some ligaments in his foot. Oh my God, 6 weeks that's going to take to heal, says Hazel. Oh my God, that is not ideal at all. I'm on book 28 of the year, says Lucy. Of the year? What are we in now? We're in May now? No, we're not. We're in April. God, 28 books since January. My God, you read fast. It must be speed reading. I'm pretty sure speed readers don't actually read anything. I've seen people flicking through really quick, supposedly reading really fast, but I don't believe it. I think it's nonsense. I don't believe they're really taking in anything useful from those books if they read it that fast. But I don't know. Maybe Lucy does that. Let us know, Lucy. I'd love to be able to read that fast. 28 books. Oh, the lovely Janet's joined us. Good to see you, Janet. I hope you're well. Send my best wishes to all the family for me. Hamza says, I miss you on the show. Throwback to BGT 2017. Absolutely. I was on it mostly in 2016, but I did come back in 2017 and then 18 and then 2019 as well. And then early 2020, I think I was involved in something just before lockdown as well. Oh, yeah. Christmas Day. Yeah. So 2020. Well, actually, that was 2019. No, it was 20. Yeah, it was Christmas just gone. So actually, yeah, I've been on BGT every year so far. I hope they invite me back again this year. Otherwise, I'll be breaking that cycle. It is Midlands. Oh, I knew it, yeah. Oh, we'll be looking at Kettering or Peterborough. Yeah, awesome. Oh, it'll be good to see you there, Martin. Louis, good to see you, my friend. And also, San Norman says, are you coming to Carlisle? I am stupid because I have got no idea where Carlisle actually is. And I know I should know where that is, but I've actually got no idea. Let me know whereabouts that is, and I'll let you know if I'm coming anywhere near. All my dates are on my website, richardjonesmagic.co.uk. All the live events are now up there for 2020 and the start of 2022. So if anyone wants to join me. Oh, Warwickshire. Near Warwickshire, says Samantha Casey. Are you doing the show in Kettering? That's near me. I absolutely am. And it is the Lighthouse Theatre, Jade. Yes. So hopefully we'll see you there. That is exactly one of the dates. I believe that one is October, I'm sure. So it'd be a pleasure to see you there. Awesome. West Cumbria. So West Cumbria is where Carlisle is. Okay. And now I'm going to shock you all, because I'm not really sure where West Cumbria is either. I do apologise. I need to get a map out and learn the UK. I really do. Do apologise. But yeah, hopefully I'm coming to West Cumbria, wherever that is. I'm sure I've probably been there loads of times. I just can't get my head around where it is. Sandra's going to Cumbria, 5 miles from where I'm staying this week. Oh, okay. Oh, like near the Lake District then. Oh, great part of the country. I love it up there. Hey, James, good to see you, my friend. Not long left to wait. Absolutely, absolutely. Looking forward to that. 13 miles south of Gretna Green, says Sandra. Now, I know you're not expecting me to know where that is. But we have someone watching from the Philippines. So hello to Emeralda. What a great name. Love it. Jade said she'll have a look and she'll see me there. That'll be good. Somerset. Yes, we are looking into Somerset as well, Tim. Awesome. So anyway, you guys, let me let you know that next Friday, I promise you, we will be back up and running with our Friday night lives, where we'll be getting interesting people on just to ask them interesting questions. And hopefully have an interesting evening. So that will be back up and running next week. I know we haven't done it tonight. We haven't managed to get someone on because they're ill. And also last week, I know we didn't get anyone on because I was busy preparing for my Zoom show, which was on the Saturday. But we will be up and running, I promise. It will mean the world to me if you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is linked in the description above. So And check out some of my videos on there. I will be posting a lot more regularly now, and hopefully trying to get everyone over on YouTube a lot more involved. I am right now live on YouTube and Facebook, thanks to the glorious gods at Restream. They are currently projecting me on both platforms, which is very handy. Sandra, yeah. Oh, Sandra, is that the real Sandra from Gogglebox? Join me. I'm not entirely sure. It may be a fake account, but it looks like we've got Sandra, the lovely Sandra from Gogglebox, just joined us. Thank you for joining us. If it is you, give me a thumbs up. If it's not you, you're probably now also going to give a thumbs up. I can't tell if it's a real account or not. No doubt. It's an interesting thing. Unfortunately, there's a lot of fake accounts of everyone on Facebook. I know if you ever get a strange message from me with terrible spelling mistakes, it is because it's not me. It's someone pretending to be me. That happens, unfortunately, all the time. Your videos are great, says Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate that. I've got my own YouTube videos as well. Now, I know that absolutely, Jonathan, because I've seen a lot of your work in the past on Instagram. And all I can say is keep up the great work. It's fantastic. And, so Sandra says, yes, it is the real me. Sandra from Gogglebox. So there she is. Thank you for joining us, Sandra. I hope you're well. Last time I saw you was at the NTAs. I was in, so my old manager, Terry, sorted us out a lovely box at the top of the O2. And Sandra came in and joined us for a little while, which was good fun. I'm pretty sure I showed you some magic, Sandra, didn't I? I seem to remember it being absolutely hilarious for all the wrong reasons. I'm sure the trick wasn't that great, but I'm sure you made it great for some reason. I can't exactly remember what happened, but I remember it was a good laugh. Leslie says, strange message from me with spelling mistakes. Chances are it is me. All right, okay, good shout. Yeah, that's a good point. I am maybe it is me sometimes. Yeah. Shared your live for you, says Louis. Thank you, Louis. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Obviously, the more people we can get involved in these Friday Night Live catch-ups, the better. And the more fun it is that we have. I've just had a cheesecake. I'm just checking off it. I thought I had bloody cheesecake in my beard, which wouldn't be ideal. I did have a slice of cheesecake today. And I had also a wasabi katsu curry with noodles. Can't go wrong with that. Absolute favourite. All right, Tim's got a question. Here we go. Right, let's get some music back on. And let's answer some questions. So if you've got a question for me, stick it in the comments now, and I'll flick through some fast answers to your questions. So question from Tim says, is there a magic festival? A bit like Glastonbury is for music. That is a good question. There isn't necessarily a festival, but there is such a thing as magic conventions. Every year there is a huge magic convention where magicians from all over the world gather in Blackpool, and the Winter Gardens there, which is a huge venue full of different theatre rooms, and pretty much anyone who's anyone in magic congregates there every February. And we have like a big conference and a convention there, which is always good fun. They do a similar thing in Las Vegas every year, which you're supposed to be going to in 2020, but obviously it got cancelled because of coronavirus. But I'm hoping to go next year because I've always wanted to go to that one in Vegas. So yes, there is such a thing as a magic festival. So if you live in Blackpool, no doubt every February you notice all the crazy magicians wandering around the streets. That's us. That's where we congregate once a year. Is Ollie Mers next week, says Phoebe. You'll have to come and join us and see. I can't tell you too far in advance. Leslie had chicken korma tonight. Leslie, absolute treat. That is my favourite. Actually, it's not. It used to be. Now it's tikka masala. Oh, Charlotte. The lovely Charlotte from BFBS has joined us. Lovely to see you. Hope you're keeping well. You are back now, aren't you? I'm sure I remember you messaging me to say you're back. I haven't done any work with BFBS for a while. If you want to get me involved, I'm ready. Do some more troop shows. They're among my favourite kind of shows. Have you eaten all the chocolate by now, says Lana. Now, Lana, I don't know if you've been following, but the amount of chocolate I've had, I might as well own a factory. It is absolutely going to last me years. I ain't getting through it, but my God, it's taken a while. Can we go live with Winston, says Leslie. Unfortunately, I can't get guests on to my Facebook lives. But next time you see me on Instagram live, drop me a little invite and we will definitely get Winston on. It's always a pleasure to have a hedgehog, fellow hedgehog, joining us. Those of you who don't know what I'm on about, Leslie up in Scotland has a pet hedgehog. Will you check out the overlay I sent you on Instagram? It says Joseph. Joseph, that sounds interesting. I'll check that out. Thank you very much. I am a little bit behind on my Facebook messages. If any of you urgently ever need to get hold of me, it's worth just messaging my team on my website, which is bookings@richardjonesmagic.co.uk, just because I very often get behind on Instagram and Facebook messages. And very often I don't even see them because there's so many spam or separate folders or request folders and all sorts on Facebook. It changes all the time with the business pages. So very often I'll find a new random folder I didn't even know existed, and there are loads of messages from years that I've missed. Have you seen Now You See Me films? Absolutely, I have, Jonathan. I think they're great. I went to the premiere of the last one in London, which was very exciting because it was full of very top-notch magicians and film stars and all sorts of amazing people there at the premiere. So that was very exciting. In fact, I did a show on the London Eye. So part of the interesting story, so when the Now You See Me latest movie came out, I think it was Now You See Me 2, came out. It's a big magic movie. You've got to watch it. It's very good. They invited me to the premiere, and they actually organised for me to go on the London Eye first, because it was in South Bank, to go on the London Eye with a load of press people, so a load of reporters, journalists, from The Sun and Daily Mail and all these different things that were there to see this premiere. So he hired me to entertain them and do a bit of magic on the London Eye. So I prepared around about half an hour's worth of magic in my mind. I thought, yeah, I'll do this. We get on the London Eye. We get about halfway up, and I've done a little show, thinking, well, we're halfway now. I'll finish up, and that'll be the end of it. But it turned out, just as we got to the top of the London Eye, the person in the pod below us had a little bit of a meltdown and realised that they were scared of heights and pressed the panic button, which meant the whole London Eye came to a halt and then started going backwards. So it was about another half an hour till that pod below us got to the bottom and they got the lady off who was panicking. And then once that happened, they then started it again. So then we started going back up again. So I prepared about a half an hour show for all of these journalists to keep them entertained on this half an hour-ish to 45-minute journey on the London Eye, which turned out to be about an hour and 45 minutes. I was stuck on this pod trying to entertain people once I'd definitely run out of material by then. So that was the longest ride of my life. It was good fun, though. The other person who was on it was Jason Fox from SAS Who Dares Wins. He was also a guest on it, so he was up there with me. So that was definitely interesting to be locked in a pod with him for a little while. Very, very interesting guy. I think he's just bought a new book out, so it's worth checking that out. I haven't read it yet, but great guy. Great stories. And he pretty much saved my butt that day because I'd run out of material, and then luckily he started entertaining the journalists with his stories. So that's kind of saved me, got me out of a bit of a hole. But great film. You should all check it out. Now You See Me, or Now You See Me 2. Both good. When are you coming to Edinburgh? I'm not sure, Gaynor, but hopefully in 2022 when I've got my new show, we'll be back up in Scotland somewhere. It probably will be Edinburgh. I might even come up for the Fringe. I won't do a show at the Fringe, but I've always wanted to come up and see the show. So you might see me wandering around if that goes ahead soon. All right, let's flick through here. And see what's going on, because I think some of you asked some questions. Archie says, are you doing something with your website? Because I can't get onto your shop. Oh, so my shop is currently unavailable. I am doing some changes to my Academy website, so you won't be able to get on that for a few weeks. But anyone who needs anything, if you need sets of cards, magic cards, or you want a magic DVD or magic sets, just email me on my website, richardjonesmagic.com, and I'll be able to arrange that. But the actual shop where I sell the magic stuff is currently not on the line. So I do apologise about that, Archie. Graham, good to see you. Did you hear about Philip? Of course, yep. So I'm going to be watching on the BBC tomorrow. I'm not involved, unfortunately. I would have loved to have been there and been involved, but I'm not, unfortunately. But I will be watching, and the Household Cavalry guys will be involved. You'll see them with the big silver helmets and the plumes at the top, the horsehair that is at the top, red tunics with white belts, and yeah, you'll see the Household Cavalry there. Do you have 2 box sets out? How do they differ? You know what I did used to, Anne? I did used to have a large magic set and a smaller magic set. Unfortunately, the large magic sets have been sold out for the last few years. Unfortunately, they sold out very quickly. And we only managed to get in stock the smaller sets, which are still, to be honest, quite big. I'll show you how big they are, because I've got one here. This is the small Magic set. The smaller of the two, but it's still pretty massive. So, yeah, they are still available, but obviously the website's not up at the minute. So if you want one, you just drop me an email and I'll be able to sort that out for you instead of the website. Jonathan says, that was great. They're planning to make another movie. Oh, great. It's always good to hear they're making another movie about magic. That shows that people are interested in magic, which is good. Rich, I see your Friday night live show, says Carl. Thank you for joining us, Carl. On YouTube. He's joining us on YouTube, which is great. Great to see, because I don't have that many followers on YouTube yet. I'm still trying to start it up, and at this moment in time I've got a few people joining me on YouTube, so I appreciate anyone who's joining me on YouTube. It's a shame I can't add Instagram, and I can't stream to Instagram and TikTok as well, and Twitter. It's a shame I can't go live on all of them, but they don't matter. Anyone who's joining me right now, Facebook and YouTube, you're the best. Stick with us. Samantha Casey says, you could have just chatted to everyone on the London Eye. Oh, absolutely. We did end up chatting. But it's just a shame that I should have paced out the magic tricks a little bit better, so that I had maybe done a couple every 10 minutes or something, instead of doing the whole show in the first half an hour and then still having an hour and 15 minutes left to go. It's great fun, though, the London Eye. If you're out and about after lockdown and you're visiting London, it's worth going on there. When you're up at the top on a nice clear day, you can see Horse Guards Parade, and if you get up there at the right time, you can see the troops on the horses going around on the parade square. And if you go on there on the Queen's birthday at the right time, around about lunchtime-ish, you'll probably see the Queen's carriage in the distance going onto Horse Guards Parade Square, and you'll see thousands and thousands of troops in red tunics with their bear skins on, and the cavalry guys, which is what I do, coming onto the parade square. You'll probably even be able to hear it from the London Eye, to be honest, the music. So yeah, if you time your visit to London right, you might be able to see some pretty incredible stuff up on the London Eye. You want a good day for it, though. If you get up there and it's cloudy, you probably won't see that much. You've got to time it right. All right, so have you had your vaccine, says Loella. Oh no, sorry, Graham said that. No, I haven't had the vaccine. I'm sure I'll probably be one of the last people to get it, which I think is July time. So yeah, got a while yet. Although I need to make sure I get it before the live shows start, because obviously I don't want to miss out on doing live events because I haven't had a jab. I'm not sure I like the idea of this jab passport, kind of vaccine passport, I think they're calling it, are they? So you're not allowed out to socialise unless you've got the jab. I think that will be pretty out of order if that goes ahead. Do you have any shirts, says Graham? You know what? In the last year, I've gone very minimalistic. At the start of lockdown, I ordered about 20 or 30 black T-shirts, and I've been very minimalistic. Every day I've just been wearing a black T-shirt, which is very boring. But I still, when I do shows, occasionally I do stick a shirt on. And I promise you, any live shows, when they come back, I will be wearing shirts, I promise. It's been a while since I've worn a tie. Although, actually, yeah, okay, I wore one. I wore a tie recently at a funeral, but that was it. When does the Household Cavalry Museum open? I have got no idea. I assume when London opens up again and the shops open up, that will probably be open. That's on Horse Guards Parade Square, so you can check out that. It's all sorts of interesting stuff in there, and there's a museum there as well. That's actually what it's called, Household Cavalry Museum. And a shop, I should have said. There's a shop there as well. Have you kept yourself busy and occupied during lockdown, says Gainer? So I've done a lot of gardening. I've done a lot of housework and design. I made a studio in my garage as well. That was what we made first. And then I realised I couldn't get fast enough Wi-Fi speed down there to actually film in there. So I then did a studio in my house as well, which is this room here. Done a lot of virtual shows, which have basically kept me sane, as well as these Facebook Lives kept me sane over the last few months. It's nice to have a chat with people. Even if I can't see you all, it's still nice. I see all your names pop up every week, which is lovely. Graham says, you've had your second vaccine, Graham. That's great news. That is fantastic news. Samantha Casey says, did you ever meet Prince Philip? That's a good question. I never in person. He's one of the only royals that I never met in person, but a number of the parades that I've been on, especially Queen's Birthday Parade. He's obviously been there for years until he's very old. He was still riding on top of the horses with all the uniform on and the big bear skin, which is not easy to do. I mean, it's very tight, very heavy, very hot, all that uniform, but he still carried on wearing it until he was very, very, very old. So, yeah, very, very inspiring person, I'd say. Steph's had the first vaccine. Great to hear, Steph. Black T-shirts are the way forward, says Tim. You know what, though? I realised I watched a little mini documentary on minimalism during lockdown. I watched quite a lot of things on minimalism. I kind of like the idea of it, and stoicism as well. But something I realised with minimalists is like some of the big people in the world, like I think Jeff Bezos, the Facebook guy. Who's the Facebook guy? Who owns Facebook? Oh, what's his name? What's his name? I've forgotten. Can't think of his name. Guy who owns Facebook. I know his name. For some reason I'm having a mind blank. And also like Steve Jobs and all these top people. They all just wear jeans and a black T-shirt every day. And I realised that someone was explaining that they try their best to make sure that they don't have to make any decisions in the morning until they make their business decisions. And the important decisions. They take all of the unnecessary decision-making challenges out of the day. So even something as small as getting out of bed and then figuring out what you're going to wear that day is one extra decision that you don't really need to make. And I kind of like that idea. That's kind of what I've been following during lockdown. Yeah. Sandra has had her second vaccine. That is good. It seems like lots of you have had your second vaccines. That's very good to hear. I didn't realise we were kind of on the second vaccine stage yet. That's great. Great to see you, Joe. Glad someone's keeping you sane, says Ria. Absolutely. Zuckerberg, of course. Tim, yes. Mark Zuckerberg. I'm a big fan of him. What a great guy. He's living the dream, isn't he? The American dream. He's kind of made something from nothing, but he's now one of the world's richest people, and he just wears black T-shirts and jeans. Absolutely makes sense. Harvey, good to see you, my friend. Prince Philip rode those horse carriages until a very late age, says Samantha. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Have my second jab next week, says Malcolm. And he also said Mark Zuckerberg in brackets misspelled. Yep, he's spelled it as sucker and then berg. Yeah, I wouldn't know how to spell that, though, to be fair. Oh, it's with a Z, isn't it? Yes. It is with a Z, yes. Leslie spelled it right just above. I went to Flamingo Land yesterday. Oh, my God, I went there when I was a kid. Flamingo Land's very cool. They used to have a really big roller coaster there. It goes upside down and really cool. Only 4 rides were open. Oh, wow. That's barely worth going, surely. If only 4 rides are open. Mark Zuckerberg owns Facebook. Absolutely, yes. So, yeah, great guy. I probably should have made sure I knew his name, seeing as we're live on his platform right now. No doubt he's probably got spies in the airways that are probably going to rip me off air any second for not knowing his name. I feel terrible. What do you like best, Magic or Army? Mixture of both. Keeps me busy. I love it. Do you drink beer? Occasionally when it's really hot and it's sunny. Occasionally I might crack open a Budweiser. I like Budweiser in a bottle if it's cold. Yeah. He owns as... Hell, he's known as Zucks on the Facebook offices. I've met him a few times. All right, cool. Wow, Malcolm's met Mark Zuckerberg. Malcolm, that is very cool. If you next time you see him, tell him I want to meet him. All right. Leslie says, have you ever watched Shameless US or Shameless Us or US? I'm not sure. No, haven't watched it. No idea what that even is. I do apologise. Any new films on Netflix recently? I'm very behind on Netflix. I haven't stuck it on. I haven't stuck any films on for a while. The only category I haven't really watched much on recently is horrors. So that's the only thing left for me to catch up on, really. I started watching Homeland. Watched like 5 series and they were good, but I can't hack it anymore. They're so slow. There's about 15 series. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so we were at Fantasy Island theme park on Wednesday. Wow, that sounds cool. 3 rides broke down though. You know what? I wouldn't want to go to a theme park when it first opens after a year of not running, because I'm pretty sure they have enough catastrophes of bloody rides not working and carriages going the wrong way on the tracks and hitting each other, even in the normal world when they're doing all the checks. But after after a year of limited maintenance, I would be terrified of going for that. But so you're very brave. But I'm not surprised 3 roads broke down. Hey, Sainam, good to see you. She said, I've missed many Facebook Lives. Well, you're here now, and that's the thing that matters. That's the main thing. All right, so what we're going to do, I will be, I'll leave you to your Friday nights very soon, but I'm going to answer a few more questions and tell you what's coming up next week for all of those of you who want to join me next week. But first of all, let's just see. Probably a silly question, says Samantha. I love silly questions, so that no question's silly anyway. But do you find it harder to plan/organise for the virtual Zoom shows or the live ones? You know what? The content is probably just as difficult to put together as each other. They're tricky trying to figure out what people will want and what people will like and prefer over other stuff. It's quite tricky, quite challenging. But the added trickiness of live tour shows is not only do you have to put together a whole theatre tour show and figure out what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, but you also need to figure out when the intervals are going to be, how you're going to build into the show with the videos in the intro and the outro, what's the big finale going to be, how many people are going to be involved in the show on stage, whether I'm going to be on stage the whole show or whether I'm going to go into the audience. Also, then you've got to figure out where the venues are and how you're going to get there, how you're going to get your team there, how you're going to get all the props and the stage in there, and in advance you've got to figure out and send ahead of time the rider with all the stuff that you're going to need from the venue and the lighting and the technicians and phone calls and that kind of stuff. Plus, then obviously you then got to figure out how you're going to make sure you sell enough tickets for the theatre shows. That's very tricky, getting the word out. Because obviously a lot of people want to go and see a magic show, but if they don't know you're doing the show, it can be a bit of a nightmare letting them know and getting that message to them. So you have to then figure out how you're going to do your advertising with leaflets and posters and Facebook ads. And so definitely a lot more goes into live shows. And also the problem is if you do a live tour show and you don't sell enough tickets, you could end up losing money, whereas the good thing about the online stuff is there's not as much investment. You're not spending money on the petrol and the traveling and the setup and the team, which I obviously have in a tour show. So I mean, they both have challenges and different challenges, but definitely the live tour shows have a lot more involvement in making it work. Definitely. So tomorrow's Minute Silence is at 3:00, says Lewis. Thank you, Lewis. I'm sure we'll all be watching the BBC and following that. Awesome. So what we're going to do is I'm going to end it there. First of all, I just want to say thank you very much for joining me on Friday Night Live this week. I appreciate it. Next week I promise, have a very interesting and unique guest joining us that we can ask questions to and hound them about what they've been up to during lockdown and what they're looking forward to now that we're coming out of lockdown. But thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. It would mean the world to me if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is above this as soon as we finish. Until I see you again, have a great week and keep safe and keep smiling. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Let's turn it up. I'll see you very soon. I'll probably go live over the weekend. Cheers, guys.